Hey guys, and welcome to a bit of a blast from the past. Today I'm going to be going over my favorite moneymakers back from RS2. So this is going to be, I don't know, 2004 to 2006, when I was in elementary school anyway. My favorite ways to make money back then when I was a total noob. If you look at my gear here, this is the last set of gear I remember getting before I started my great money making grind to get full rune. I had the adamant full helm, adamant plate, body, and legs, adamant kite shield, and a rune battle axe. Now I'm pretty sure I got the rune battle axe as a drop from somebody who had died to the Mage of Zamorak. But yeah, so I got those pretty much by accident. But yeah, no, it came to a time where I'm like, I can't really have this full adamant anymore. I need to get full rune. At the time, it was like the best possible thing in the game for me, since most of my time spent playing RuneScape back then was in free-to-play. That was pretty much the ultimate goal. So yeah, I needed the money to do it, and this is how I managed to do it. It took me like half a year to get it back then, which would only take like 20 minutes now, which is kind of sad to think. But yeah, so let's go ahead and have a look. Okay, so first up obviously was killing hill giants. This was the classic method to make money back in RS2, and look at this guy rocking the adamant battle axe, even better than me. That's awesome. But yeah, this place was oftentimes packed, and it actually still is in free-to-play, which is interesting because Limpert roots back then were actually worth quite a bit of money. And now they're not worth anything. And yeah, so all you basically do is pick up the hill giant bones or the big bones and the Limpert roots, and then you would be on your way and go back and bank it. And eventually you would go ahead and sell it to another player for, I don't really remember how much each, but it was somewhere between 200 or 300 coins per big bone, and probably 500 GP for a Limpert root. Can't remember off the top of my head, but of course that was like 10 years ago. So yeah, let's go ahead and do an inventory and see how long this takes. Okay, we're pretty much done the inventory, and the stupid rune battle axe is way too slow. This is a huge issue. I need to get an upgrade right now. But yeah, so pretty much got 2 Limpert roots and a bunch of big bones, which are okay, I guess. Can we? Yes, okay, good. So yeah, I'm pretty sure back then I even walked all the way back to. I didn't have the magic level to teleport back to Varrock, nor did I bother buying the runes, I guess. But this is a pretty average inventory. And this took me about 20 minutes. Okay, so I don't think this is actually much worse than back in 2005 or 6, which is kind of a bad thing because mostly things have inflated in price, and I'm pretty sure this is still like the same GP per hour it was back then, which is going to be extremely low. So let's go ahead and dump in all of the big bones. Woo! 6.5k. Alright, we'll sell those, and we also got a 1 Limpert root, 2 Limpert roots, I guess. Dump those in there, and a steel longsword. Great. Okay, so I sold everything off, and we'll collect it all. And of course, back then you did not have the grand exchange, so you'd have to sell them to a player, which took another 20 minutes sometimes. But let's just forget that. So 7,600 coins in 20 minutes. That's about 22k an hour, which is terrible, but still surprising it took me so long to get full rune, even at 22k an hour, because I'm pretty sure back then it was 200k or something for full rune, so it should have only taken me 10 hours theoretically. So once you had graduated from killing hill giants, the other method was to come to the wilderness, in level 27 wilderness, and pick up the big bones from the boneyard. Highly risky method. No, not really. But yeah, basically you just went around and picked up all the big bones that run. Oh, that's a regular bone. But there should be a spawn of 3. And then you just kind of ran around and attempted not to be killed by the skeletons while they respawned. Not a particularly good method, but I think the money per hour was quite a bit better. It takes quite a while to get out here as a free-to-play member, or free-to-play account, and probably about 5 minutes. But we'll go ahead and time how long it takes me to get this full inventory, and yeah, go back in a bit. Okay, so we made it back to Varrock, safe and sound. So in total, this took about 8 minutes to do a inventory of this all the way into the wilderness and back. Actually, it didn't take as long as I remember. It was only about 2.5 minutes to walk/run out there, and then only about 30 seconds to teleport back. plus about 4 or 5 minutes of picking up the bones. But that's probably a little bit high anyway. But yeah, so we made about 7k in about 8 minutes, which is substantially better than the last time. So we'll just do 7k divided by 8. That's how much we're getting per minute. And in an hour, we got 52k, which is still pretty trash, but you know, it's quite a bit better than the last method. And yeah, I think this is the one I really ended up grinding out, and this is the method that got me my full rune eventually. But yeah, I just did inventory after inventory after inventory of this. After I saved up maybe 200, 300 bones, I would sell them off for a 40 or 50k or something like that. And yeah, so there is my top method probably from back in the day. So one day I was walking past the barbarian village, and I stopped. I'm looking around, and you can see all these fish on the ground. And I thought to myself, what a stupid person would drop all their fish on the ground? Like, that is free money. Let's go ahead and pick that up. I'm literally going to be raking in the... Oh shit, they all despawned. I'm raking in the cash. It's so close to a bank. Let's go ahead and just pick these fuckers up. Raw salmon. Like, come on, guys. You gotta bank your fish. Like, these guys are even cooking them here. Perfect. Oh, they're just everywhere. I don't know. I feel like raw fish may be actually worth more. Let's go ahead, pick up an inventory here. And it literally only takes like 10 seconds to get full inventory of fish. I think you just run back to the bank. It's right there. Alright, well, let's go ahead back and run back to the bank. We'll do a couple inventories of this. But yeah, no, obviously this is not a very good money-making method. But I remember seeing this back in the day and being so confused why people would just drop their items. Like, what would be the point of dropping your items? But now, of course, it makes a lot more sense. But yeah, we'll do this for a little while, and I'll come back in a minute. Okay, guys, so here's my loot from about 10 minutes of doing this. I know, pretty consistent. Let's see how much money I managed to make, though. So we got 86 raw salmon worth 5.8k. Got some raw trout, some cooked salmon, and some cooked trout, as well as one burnt fish. Looks like it's worth 8.4k, though. And 8.4k is 8,400 times 6 for an hour is about 50k, which is actually pretty good for not even being in the wilderness. I don't actually remember doing this method that much, but surprisingly it looks like I should have done it more. Maybe it was more contested back then, because maybe this was actually viable, because right now it certainly is not. Okay, we're back in the wilderness, guys, and here is my fourth method, I guess, that I used, and this one is a little bit riskier because there's moss giants around, but basically all you do is you run around and pick up the chaos runes, and since they're stackable, you could theoretically stay here forever, I guess, although you'd probably eventually die to the moss giants, especially with the level I was back in the day. But anyway, I mean, like six of these is worth 601 coins. It's not extremely good, but you can stay here a long time, and I'm serious, it's pretty terrible. The respawn rate is not that great. I don't actually remember why I did this, but I do remember doing it for a fairly substantial amount of time, which is a terrible idea. So we'll go ahead and do this for a little bit, but oh my god, look how slowly these things respawn. Okay, so turns out you should be hopping worlds for this. When I was hopping worlds, I managed to get about, let's see here, we got 8 runs essentially, and there's 6 chaos runes per world, so 8 worlds, 48 in about 5 minutes, gives us about 9.6 chaos runes a minute, times 60 is about 576 chaos runes in an hour. They're worth 100 each, so that's about 57k. Without hopping worlds, it's brutally slow, so it's only about 10 or 15k an hour. So yeah, it's actually a little better than I thought, but honestly, it's a little risky because they're going to be out here. You're not really super likely to have someone kill you here, but you're going to want to bank every hour at least. But back in 2004, this may have been pretty decent and kind of a more unknown way of making money. So while I was mostly free to play when I originally started playing the game, there was a couple points that I ended up getting my membership actually upgraded. Once was actually because my account was hacked. Someone actually physically looked at my password when I was playing at the library, and they took my account for a while. And when I did end up recovering it, it did have some membership days left on it. And the second time, I think someone managed to buy me a PaySafe card because they were not actually available in the town I grew up in. So yeah, eventually I did get membership, and I thought the best possible use of my time then was to go pick up blue dragon scales. So that's what we're going to be doing. I doubt I had energy potions, but I'm just bringing them because why not? And I doubt I even had the agility level to go through the shortcut at Falador. But we'll just forgive those things for now. So yeah, I think this is still going to be relatively okay money per hour. It's not going to be great by any means, but I think it still is somewhat viable, but we'll have to give it a try. So basically all you need is a anti-dragon fire shield, some food, and just a teleport out, as well as the dusty key. If you don't have it, it's a little bit south of here. You just have to go grab it off a bookcase or something. So yeah, we're pretty much all the way there. It is quite a long run, so you should bring energy potions, but I really doubt I was smart enough to do that when I was 12. So open this up. And yeah, all we're looking for is the blue dragon scales. We're not going to fight anything. We're just going to be picking up the scales, because we'll see how much they're worth here. Looks like each one is worth 798 still. That is still pretty damn good. So we'll go ahead and do a full inventory of this and time how long it takes to do it. Okay, so we're back at the bank, and it took about 4 minutes to do the full run of walking all the way out there, or running I guess, and coming back, picking up all the dragon scales, etc. So we got 4 minutes for this. Let's see how much they're actually worth first. Okay, so an inventory is worth about 17k, OS Buddy is saying. So we'll go ahead and use that as the measurement. So 17k divided by 4. So we're getting about 4.25k per minute times 60 is actually 250k an hour, which is substantially better than any of the free-to-play methods. Still not great comparative to a lot of the pay-to-play methods, but not too bad. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you didn't take it too seriously, because these aren't, of course, very good methods. It was just kind of a blast to the past to see what I was doing and just see how terrible it really was. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.